always love seeing Leela here. She's really warmed up. I've really warmed up to her, I should say. She doesn't know that I exist because she's fictional. I have with me co-commentating Nathan once again. Helped me on a previous video. How are you doing tonight, Nathan?
Hey man, I'm great.
And I think you're pretty excited to see Leela here as well.
Oh, I love Leela. She's fantastic.
And I think that was 2 mulligans there, unless I missed something.
Sure.
And the players here, we have, I know that's Chris on the left because he's the only one that has those plaid sleeves. And we have Jamie on the right, who is the only one who has a tattoo of a watch that I know of. And the playmat, which is Batman fighting Jaws with a lightsaber. Always good to point that out.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's the best playmat I've seen. It just wins. And here we go. So Near Earth Hub is using their ability to draw a card, which is pretty good.
You click the mouse for me, Brian?
Oh yeah, sorry. He can't see the game until I give the window focus.
Boom!
So.
Oh, the world is now visible to me.
There we go. Very very professional operation here on my end. Okay.
That's good to go now. I love. Oh, now that I can see the playmat, it's fantastic.
Yeah, isn't it great? And unfortunately, it has to get covered up because Netrunner has these cards that you install and called Ice and all that. But anyway, you get to appreciate it for the early game at least.
Man, I can't believe it. Leela installs logos on her first turn. That is just aggressive.
So that was a first click R&D check, just hoping to clear off some of that ice there on HQ. He didn't see anything, and so he just got logos going. Against Near Earth Hub, I could see that. I mean, that seems a little early without having some economy to bounce back. But against Near Earth Hub, you know they're going to be scoring out pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That puts a lot of pressure on the Corp straight off the bat. And then, unfortunately, the Corp, their defense for R&D locking is just a daily business show. 50% less chance to access, to get R&D locked.
And ice over R&D. So this tournament was January Games of Berkeley in Berkeley, California, and it's a game night kit tournament. And what was I gonna say? I had some point I was gonna make. Oh yeah, the source was the most available pack, latest available pack. So Order and Chaos is almost out, but wasn't quite available for this tournament.
Sure. So we got a few good NBN cards in that data pack.
Was the business show in that data pack?
I think that was the one before. Yeah, this one we got Shoot the Moon, Troll, and Virgo.
That's right. So I'm not sure if Jamie is playing with any of those cards, but he definitely has Daily Business Show, which gets trashed by Leela pretty quickly.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta do it, especially that early in the game. I learned that lesson on one of my first games playing against Daily Business Show. It is totally unacceptable to be rezzed on the table.
And that's pressure for him too, because he saw that early logos, right, and he just counters it with that Daily Business Show.
So that was a draw on Leela, and then taking 2 credits and running the Jackson Howard, which just gets used immediately by the Corp, taking back probably some agendas.
I think that was 3 cards he took. He didn't even take back his Daily Business Show, so that was definitely 3 agendas.
Yeah. Oh, there's another Daily Business Show, though. So.
Oh, no. That's mean.
No ice rezzed yet. The Leela trying to hold back on rezzing ice as long as she can. In the grip, I see... Well, now I don't see anything, but I did see a leg work, which is very good to have in this matchup.
Leela's definitely about making your runs count versus running often.
Right. He's a very strategic runner.
Yeah. Yeah, which is fantastic at a criminal, right? Because the Count Siphon is just this generic denial card. But with Leela, it becomes this very strategic card to use.
And Jamie just practicing putting cards on the table here. And so he draws up a card, plays a sweep before checking how many cards were in the grip, but he got lucky. There were 5.
I can't tell if the runner has crash spaces or bank jobs in his hand. He has 2 of them.
Ooh, let's hope for him they're bank jobs. Those would be pretty good.
Bank jobs is great.
Either of those would probably be pretty good in this. I mean, it depends on what this deck is doing. But if I see Daily Business Show, part of me thinks it's, like more of a Scorchy deck.
I haven't actually thought of that, but that is very interesting.
I mean, it's a good card just for general speed, so there's no reason you can't use it in your standard fast advance, but it feels like the type of card where you're like trying to get combo pieces together. That's kind of what I think when I see it.
Sure.
So he is taking care of that business show. The ratings are not good.
I mean, he doesn't have any money either. That's tough.
Logos increases hand size by 1, correct?
Oh, what is that? It does. And what is that card he just
That's
played?
unscheduled maintenance. That is the criminal current that prevents the Corp from installing more than 1 ice per turn.
Oh, that is probably Leela is one of the few runners that I think that card is worth it in.
Right, yeah, it makes sense. In this matchup, maybe not as much, which is probably why he discarded it, but you could definitely understand why it's in the deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as Leela, you want to slow them down on installing ice. You want to bounce the ice back to their hand. You just, oh, wow, okay, that's bad.
Did he? Where did he have the Astro in a remote?
That was
it open?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's a like a SanSan in that remote. So he had that just installed in that remote. I don't think it's sat on the table. Sorry, folks. The game is moving fast. Trying to keep up here. But some things that did happen there is Leela triggered, bouncing back the oh wow, bouncing back the R&D ice. That is the end of turn for the Corp. And he used Logos to go trigger his ability, and he definitely has an indexing in hand.
He definitely dug up in indexing. That's exactly what I would do.
So I think he already had the indexing. I think I saw it in his hand already. So I think he just got a lucky find on that Logos. But in any case, he's definitely doing what he wants to do here. And what's great here is that, if he sees an agenda, which is pretty likely, he could bounce to HQ ice and then go probe HQ for another Astro script, which may or may not be in there.
Sure, this is where Leela shines, right? The Corp is trying to score their agendas over the entirety of their turn. And that leaves you for your entire turn to figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah, there was not a period there where he could respond by installing more ice over R&D. It looks like the Corp got lucky, there not being an agenda on R&D.
That is especially lucky against Leela.
Yeah. Although he is improving his draws a little bit there with those daily business shows, so that might have helped bury a few of those agendas.
That's true. He pulled a lucky find, which I would have expected him to pull an account siphon, hope to steal an agenda with the indexing and then siphon. But if he steals... Well, no, Logos doesn't trigger off of your own steals, so never mind.
Then he, then he would have needed to float tags over the turn, which could have been bad. So maybe he was considering that. I don't know that he runs Siphon. I assume he does, but I've not seen it yet in his deck.
Inside Job HQ.
He's really just, I think, trying to get an Astro script here. And just sees the Midway station grid. What do you think when you see this?
Oh, man, I think a lot of things. I think no NBN ice. I think of Eli, I think of Grail, I think of Pup, I guess.
Sure.
I don't think of any NBN ice. I don't think of pop-up window, toll booth, wraparound, right? So that makes me very interested to know what kind of ice he's running.
Yeah, that's he probably saw some stuff in that indexing run, but that definitely gives you some intel. It lets you know that something is going on. I think this is not just your standard fast advanced deck. I think you could be pretty sure.
Sure.
And you might want to have some icebreakers before you go face check some horrible Grail ice.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, I mean, what's the worst going to happen? You're going to get triple Merlin, worst case, which he has 6 hand size. Other than that, it's going to end the runner trash a program, so you might as well run it naked.
And this early in the game, also that daily business show definitely helps get those Merlins early, huh?
What is this remote? Oh my goodness. This has got to be Midway Station Grid and...
SanSan, I would guess.
No, can't be both, because they're both regions.
Oh, they're both regions. Well, it's very he probably doesn't have SanSan in the deck. It's very likely the Midway. Beyond that, I really have no idea.
I mean, an Ash? Or maybe red herrings, right?
Sure.
Sure, and then he forces him to run it twice, which is better with the Midway station.
We're going to find out. So first
Oh,
click
man.
the runner, put down the Earthrise Hotel there. We'll help out with card draw.
Now he has 5 credits.
Yes.
Is
5
that a
credits.
Marcus?
That is, no, that is a Grail, the Galahad, the barrier.
Really?
Yeah.
So
that
he is running Grail.
And Jamie here did not reveal any Grail Ice as far as I could tell. So the
No, I
only
didn't see
reason for that would be, I mean, he might, like sometimes you have Lancelot, you just don't show it in this case.
Yeah.
Or he might not have had any Grail Ice.
He doesn't need to show the Grail Ice, so don't do it.
Yeah, only if you had a Merlin in that case would it be worth showing the Grail Ice. So he must not have a Merlin yet. But he does score an agenda, so that was a Beal on top of probably a Midway station grid and something else. I like the red herrings call. That could be it. Could easily be an Ash. Yeah, Ash or red herrings. Those both seem reasonable. If you're doing that taxing play there with Grail Ice and Midway, either of those makes sense. So that Earthrise Hotel triggering, he has a lot of cards now. He does have 2 Crash Spaces in hand and a Siphon. Ooh, he's about to play that Siphon. There we go.
Nice. I mean, that's probably the right move. I mean, what does the Corp only had? What? How many did he take from him? 4?
No, he took a 5er. He took a 5er. The Corp's at 1.
Oh, the oranges are 5s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have these custom credits. I know them by now because I play with these guys, but yeah, I should probably explain that to everyone.
Alright, so the
Wow.
oranges are 5s and the yellows are 1.
So he's going to look at 4 cards here. He just installed an HQ interface
And legwork?
and legwork.
Wow.
SanSan.
He's gonna see the Grail now.
Ooh, he gets to bounce something else.
Oh. And only
So-
on res cards.
So this is a weird thing where now the Corp gets to shuffle those cards. The one gets bounced back. So he's going to look at 2 more, or 3 more, or 1 more, I mean.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Ichi. That makes sense.
I was actually unaware of that particular interaction, and I had wondered.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've seen it play out. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It just goes back into the hand, and then I don't know where in the rules that's laid out, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works.
Okay.
And
So
that was
you-
all possible because the Corp scored out that Beal, which removed the HQ ice back into HQ.
Sure, yeah, the only way to really play against Leela is to just double ice all your servers. She's almost like Kit, but she plays with Kit while with everything's unresed. Because obviously she can't bounce res dice.
It also helps to score your agendas with clicks left in your turn. Ooh, indexing coming in. And I think he knows that is not a Jackson Howard. I don't think anything's been installed in that remote server since
Nope.
the Beal.
Those are the same 2 cards as
So
before,
this is a solid indexing right here.
Oh, I'm so excited to see what he's got here. I wish he would show us.
Yeah. Doesn't look like we're gonna be lucky enough for that.
We're gonna find out soon enough.
He is floating those tags.
And he's gonna lucky find.
Wow, and he just goes and trashes the marked accounts.
Was that a whiffed indexing, or did he put
Yeah.
the agendas on the bottom?
No, I think that was whiffed. I don't.
That has to be it, right?
Yeah.
That's 2 whiffed indexings. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've seen 6 points of agendas. The game's still early enough, and those early date business shows, I think, contributed to this. So, I mean, that is unlikely, but I could see why that happened, I guess.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, what's interesting about Daily Business Show is it makes you scared to use Jackson when you put all your agendas on the bottom. Because then you have to shuffle them.
Right, and increases your... yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that's any different. I'd have to think about that. It's an interesting point.
There is a distinct advantage to Daily Business Show knowing that all of your agendas are on the bottom of
Right.
your deck.
And it's if you don't use Jackson, you're in a better position, assuming you want your agendas to be at the bottom of your deck. Which a lot of Corps would want that if they're playing
Sure.
a certain style.
That's true.
And he has these crash spaces. I wonder if he's going to bother playing them to clear the tags, or if he's just assuming that, he's kind of seeing a lot of influence here. He might just assume that the Corp does not have tag punishment. And as I say that, the tags are gone.
Huh. Now that's interesting because, I mean, it's unlikely he's running Scorch if he's running Grail, but he might be running Close to Counts, which is a mean card.
And it could just be that the runner has resources that he wants to play. This game is still pretty early. The Astro script is scored, which is hugely threatening. But outside of that, the runner can still needs to build up a little bit. Particularly in terms of icebreakers, which he's going to get right now.
Now, what's fantastic about these Grail ices, once you get your standard 3 icebreakers, they are in big trouble. They're still expensive to get through, especially with Midway Station Grid, but other than that, like your Lancelots lose a lot of their threat, your Merlins lose a lot of their threat.
And it looks like the runner is responding by getting his barrier breaker, so he's going to be able to get through that Galahad. And the only thing he's missing here is a way to get through Code Gates, which I saw Passport in his deck, so that may be his solution.
Going for Katie at this point, I think, is a very, very wise move, because he's acknowledging now that he's starting to lose the economic game. And you can absolutely do that with Leela, because she plays like this opportunist runner instead of this kind of run and bash down the Corp kind of a runner. And so Katie becomes even more effective in her identity.
Yeah, part of me doesn't like that play just because, it's NBN with 4 points in AstroScript token. It feels like it's just too late to be building up econ in that way. But at the same time, I hear what you're saying, and it does make sense. He could hopefully just let the Corp score out another Astro, and then just hopefully take advantage of the situation and go get the rest of the points he needs. So that is a bank job down, bouncing off the pad campaign to make some money.
Oh, that is a fantastic card.
Yeah, that card has really come back. That's a card that I didn't see in about a year after the core set. And then just recently, it's really come back. I think mainly because of Near Earth Hub.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I've been seeing a lot more Doppelganger recently, too, probably for similar reasons.
Huh.
There was a long period towards the end of Genesis and beginning of Spin Cycle where this asset-based play wasn't real popular with Corps. Corps were more just building up their centrals, maybe one scoring remote, and that was kind of how you played Corp. So this style of play has really opened up. Sneak Door down. Oh, I love Sneak Door.
Sneak Door. Now notice he's not running through ice. He's only forced the Corp to res 1 ice this whole game.
Yeah, it's true. Just that Galahad so far.
And an HQ interface is incredible with that, right? And it's just naturally incredibly good card in Leela because she needs to make her accesses count.
Come on. Need an agenda here. And he gets
Lancelot.
it. So he gets the license acquisition.
Oh, man. What do you think when you see a card like that in an NBN deck?
I've never even seen someone play that card, so I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm thinking he has, like, Midway Station Grid and SanSans, which are reasonably expensive to res and install and all that, so that's probably why it's there.
Sure. And obviously, the marked accounts.
Marked accounts. Marked accounts is, well, it's free to res, but I guess it lets you spam the marked accounts back and helps, pad campaign. That's a little bit.
Yeah. Now this is it. This is a real key point in the game here, where he scores, and I'm pretty sure that Astro has its token. Maybe it doesn't.
No, it does because he scored it off of the SanSan. He rezzed a SanSan that turn and just scored it.
So he has 2 Astro tokens now.
That's correct.
Oh my goodness! So this is threatening for a runner, right? Because now the Corp has 2 ice on every server, and so it's, what are you going to do as Leela, right? You hope you get lucky and get a strong Maker's Eye or indexing or something like that in order to just kind of shut the Corp down. There's a lot of pressure on the runner right now to make something happen.
It makes you wonder where that Astro script was during those sneak doors. It must have been on R&D. I mean, we didn't see 1 card in the Corp's hand, so it could have been there. Passport going down. And he he bounced back the ice on R&D for... Which makes sense. R&D is definitely the target here.
Did we see what he bounced back when he stole that license acquisition?
The license acquisition, he bounced back... I'm not sure. I'm sure he bounced something back, but I didn't notice what.
Yeah, I missed it as well.
So he's just trying to put the pressure on R&D now. He could get in there for pretty cheap.
And that's really his only option, right? There was a Midway station grid there earlier.
Oh, he must have bounced that back.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
You're right. Yeah, the upgrade was funny. It was kind of underneath the deck, but yeah, you're totally right. That's what he bounced back.
And what does he have? Like 10 cards left in R&D?
It could be. It's a little bit hard to tell, but I think he's running low. There's definitely been a lot of drawing this game.
You mentioned earlier that, like, you know, installing Katie Jones is kind of a dangerous move because the Corp is already so far ahead. And I mean, yeah, right. He installed Katie, put on it once, and then he took off it, and he hasn't used it since because there's been so much pressure now.
Yeah, the time hasn't really been there for him to use Katie Jones. But the Corp really needs to shore up R&D some more. The runner can probably get in there every turn. Ooh, is he going to index?
He's got the money to maybe steal. He only needs 2 agendas, right? 2 Beals, and he wins the game.
It costs him 3 credits each time, so he can do it. It's possible. Oh, he's not indexing. He just ran and saw a Eli. And that Eli is definitely going to be installed in R&D. That's my guess.
He can't index, right? Because Jackson's on the table, so...
Right, yeah, so he runs Jackson. Yeah, that's true. He would have indexed if it weren't for Jackson, I'm pretty sure. There could be another Jackson installed there. We have some more remotes above that pad campaign in SanSan that we have not seen yet.
I'm pretty sure that's his second Jackson.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that.
He might have stacked him there in his score area.
Wow, you're right. There's not a lot of cards left there in R&D.
And now, that was a super good move, right? But look how expensive that was. I mean, pay 3 to get through Galahad, run and attempt to trash Jackson, right? Not have to pay for it, and then run and trash again. He gets 2 accesses for 6 credits. You know, that's not bad, I guess.
He has to do it. There's no other choice. He definitely can't let the Corp top deck an agenda. He has to hope the Corp doesn't have fast track. Yeah, he's just in a position now where he needs to just check R&D as much as he can, and then hope the Corp doesn't draw past his whatever he's checking.
Oh man!
So the Corp sees Eli, which I'm guessing goes over R&D. Ooh, he's drawing cards. Not good. I don't think he saw an agenda though. He's looking for one.
I mean, he can score off of, what, 2 draws now with that SanSan on the table. He can draw, install, Astro.
Yep, and he has the SanSan down, like you said. Yep, yeah, he only needs 1 click on his turn to win. And there's still 1 more Astro and probably 2 more Beals in the deck at the very least.
Sure, yeah. So this makes the sneak door basically useless at this point.
Ooh, this is... Oh, that Midway station grid. Oh my god.
Jeez. I mean, no, if he reveals, like, Merlins... Okay, 2 Lancelots, I think.
I think those might be Merlins, actually.
Really?
I think. It's a little bit hard to tell. Yeah.
I'll look it up. The top one's a Lancelot.
So he is spending 6 credits to get through that, to look at 1 card. Oh no, this is for indexing, but he can't get in again. Yeah,
that's tough.
That Midway station.
So if the Corp power draws, he can put the agendas on the bottom 2 cards, and he can score them both next turn. But that's only if he draws 2 agendas and he puts them at the bottom 2.
Yeah, but the Corp can still get at it if there's a Jackson on the table. If there's a Jackson on the table, then indexing is basically irrelevant.
That's true. And it probably is, right? I mean, we're through his whole deck, and we've seen 2 already. And it looks like he just takes some...
He's trying to figure out how to get into that server, I think, but it's just not going to happen this turn.
Oh no, that's so brutal.
He could maybe what he. I'm wondering if what he's considering is taking a credit and then running, and then just taking some net damage to the face.
Yeah, or losing his programs. Because
he's doing it. He's doing it.
So if you encounter Lancelot, end the run, because you get to choose the order, then he can actually choose to break the end the run and then eat the Lancelots.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. That's exactly. You're right. Those were Lancelot. So he passport and he gets the Astro script, bounces something back.
Bounces Jackson.
So yeah, there wasn't a Jackson on the table because I'm pretty sure the Corp here would have used it just to decrease his chances of stealing that agenda. Wow, that was a dangerous play. Now he needs to get another Corroder.
I don't know how he expects to win here.
Yeah, that's a tough decision. I don't know what you do.
Inside job, right? Inside job R&D. And hope you top deck the agenda. Maybe that's his plan.
Well, maybe he put it at the bottom and he's just going to wait for that inside job. That would be a great play.
Oh, that would be so clever.
Okay.
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, that I think was the Eli probably going up there. And I think he paid for it.
And now he has 2 credits?
I think so. Ooh, he's checking
archives.
archives.
All right, Leela.
Nothing there.
Oh, there's the Jackson, though.
Yeah, so I think he trashed an early Jackson. Oh, did he? Or did he just flip over in Jackson there?
There was a Jackson in archives.
I see. He's hoping to get lucky on HQ, but I don't think there's anything there. I mean,
wow.
There could be like an NAPD or something in there, but no, because like he would just score that out. There's no agenda in HQ at this point.
Sure, yeah, he would have scored it. But what he does get to see is a lot of Grail Ice.
I mean, even a 5-3 would just be scored out of hand here.
And he shuts down a Galahad.
Yeah, I think he just... I don't think... He might not have another barrier breaker in his deck. With Logos and special orders, I could see how maybe he would only have one of each of his breakers.
Oh, no. And
That's
there's the agenda. Oh, man. It's so close.
Wow, so that must have been still within the indexing, and I don't know, I guess the runner just didn't have an inside job or a way to get through.
And he didn't have any money either.
Yeah,
so.
No money, no breakers, not a good position.
Interesting.
Do you think that he should have not taken that third Astro script there on that indexing?
Not taken it?
Well, I mean, should he not have run? He ran and got half his rig trashed by doing that.
Well, he definitely sealed his fate, right? I mean, I expected he had something like an inside job in hand. Maybe he was hoping on top decking it?
Yeah, but just that one piece of ice being installed shut down that play. I don't know. I'm trying to get in his mindset and understand. He might have. I think maybe putting that Astro script at the bottom of the indexing might have been a better play. Just hoping that the Corp doesn't draw to it, and then you have another turn to kind of build up to go get it.
I mean, it gives him one turn because the Corp can power draw, and
the Corp can power draw, but the Corp might not power draw. So that's a chance, you know. And there's a good chance the Corp would just power draw to it. But there's a chance that he won it.
He had been power drawing the whole game too, so I mean, you have good reason to think he might.
Yeah.
Unless
it's a gamble, but
he can't draw NAPD on his last click is a big deal. Because then he can't score it off of SanSan with 2 Astros.
Right, he would need another Astro.
And that's the real Astro train, is when you score an NAPD off of SanSan with 3 Astro tokens.
Just end the train at the police station.
There we go.
Yeah, there's something about the index. I mean, I don't know what his better play would have been, but I think that last indexing was his downfall. And again, I don't really know what the better play would have been, but that didn't seem good.
I mean, you see an Astro and an NEPD in 5 cards with 3 other things, and what, I mean, do you put them at the bottom?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
suppose.
you're not going to be able to, yeah, it's true. You're not going to be able to score both of those, and the Corp just needs to draw one. He might not have been fated to win that game.
I mean, even if he did, like, the most fantastic thing I could think of is if he installed R&D interface and then inside jobbed, and even then that would have been, he would have needed 10 total credits to steal both agendas.
Yeah, assuming he gets some of his programs trashed, I guess.
Well, I mean, you know, yeah, I guess he doesn't need the inside job because he still has his programs at that point, but...
It would have cost him a pretty penny.
I mean, he could have, you know what he could have done is he could have bank jobbed a remote and then inside jobbed and stolen the NAPD or even StimHack, right? StimHack wins you the game. But he clearly didn't do any of those things, so maybe he was just hoping he top-decked one of them.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting game, though. Jamie made good use of Midway Station Grid. I hadn't seen that card really been played yet, and it's something to consider with Grail. And he made good use of NBN too, just the card draw and the daily business show to get the Grail Ice. I like that deck. I think there's something to that maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
So they are getting started on the second game here. I'll probably cut this part out. But any last thoughts on that game?
I mean, I think the Leela player played very, very well. He played very carefully early game, and he didn't force the Corp to res a lot of ice. I mean, he probably forced the Corp to res maybe 2 ice over the course of the whole game.
Yeah, that's true, and scored a good amount of agendas while doing that.
Yeah, and the disadvantage to playing Leela is you get in this habit of learning to slow the Corp down by forcing them to res ice. And then you can't do that as Leela, and it takes so much effort to train yourself not to do that. And then be aware of the implications that the Corp can play so much faster now because they're not spending all this money.
Yeah, it's certainly a way different playstyle for Runner. It's something I didn't quite understand when I first read the ID, but talking to you especially, I'm really starting to understand kind of the power of Leela. Like it's a big playstyle change. So really interesting to see how that ID develops over the coming months.
Absolutely. I did want to say I read recently, it was a StimHack article maybe, I'm not sure, and they said they brought to my attention something I hadn't seen in a while, and they said that the source was going to, I'm not sorry, that this cycle was going to change the phases of Netrunner. Because before there was that very well-established early game, mid-game, late game, and everyone had really fallen into understanding how this worked, and they said, hey, guess what? When the upstock cycle comes out, we are going to change that up. And you know, I forgot about it when they said it, right? But it brought it to my attention, and looking at it retrospectively now, we have Leela completely changes the pacing of the game. We have Nasir also completely changing the pacing of the game, and it's so fantastic to see that working in the game. I'm really, really very impressed with Fantasy Flight.
Yeah, definitely changing the game up quite a bit. And it looks like it's going to continue throughout the SanSan cycle, so definitely lots to look forward to.
That's awesome.
That is the game. We will have more on the channel very soon, and thanks again, Nathan, for helping out with commentary.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, Brian.
Yeah, of course. All right, thanks everyone for watching.